In today's increasingly polarized society, the relationship between social media and political violence has become a hotly debated topic. Many experts assert that social media significantly contributes to the escalation of animosity in political discourse. Just 2 days after the tragic shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk during a speaking event at Utah Valley University, Utah's Republican Governor Spencer Cox didn't hold back in his criticism of social media. He described it as a cancer on our society during a press conference, urging individuals to disconnect from their screens and reconnect with the real world by touching grass. Echoing Cox's sentiments, Senator James Langford from Oklahoma remarked that social media platforms prioritize sensationalism, stating, "It promotes those who express anger and outrage, leading to a repeat cycle of extreme content." Another perspective came from Representative Joe Neguse of Colorado, who labeled social media as deeply corrosive to public discourse. While numerous authorities pointed fingers at social media for heightening societal tensions and propagating violent imagery, most experts were cautious about branding these platforms as the sole instigators of political violence. The unfortunate event took place on September 10th, during an appearance by Kirk on his college speaking tour. The alleged shooter, identified as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, was captured by authorities nearly 48 hours later and now faces serious charges, including aggravated murder. Robinson's apparent activity on Discord, an online messaging platform, brings to light the question of whether these virtual environments may play a role in fueling political violence. On the day of his arrest, Robinson reportedly shared a troubling message with a small group, admitting to his involvement in Kirk's death. During a recent Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, FBI Director Kash Patel revealed that the agency is closely scrutinizing the Discord interactions linked to Robinson. Discord, in response to inquiries regarding its involvement, stated that it had not come across any evidence to suggest that Robinson organized or promoted violent acts via their service. The platform emphasized its commitment to user safety, actively collaborating with the FBI to address emerging threats. Not to be overlooked, other social media giants, like Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, and TikTok also reiterated their dedication to combating hate speech and harmful content. TikTok's head of safety policy disclosed that their platform successfully removes the majority of posts associated with hate-driven organizations. In the aftermath of Kirk's shooting, graphic footage circulated widely online, igniting concerns about the psychological impact such exposure could yield on the public. Many experts believe that social media often promotes incendiary content, fueling divisions and possibly fostering isolation among users who may turn to online spheres for interaction. Walter Shearer, a professor from Notre Dame who examines online disinformation, cautioned that the current landscape means many alienated individuals are immersing themselves primarily in virtual environments, heightening the risk for political violence. Pape's research, derived from surveys on political violence, found that those who avidly use social media, dedicating up to 8 hours daily, are indeed more inclined to support aggressive political actions. Yet, these heavy users are considered a minority among those with violent political tendencies. A comprehensive review of 400 studies conducted by New York University researchers concluded that social media is utilized to facilitate political intimidation and violence, albeit it does not act as the sole catalyst for such events. Influential factors such as sensational news channels and predisposed individuals also contribute to these dynamics. As violence in political contexts rises, experts highlight the accessibility of firearms and the impact of hostile public rhetoric on escalating tensions. Thomas Seitzoff, a criminology professor, articulated that social media enhances existing narratives of hostility, calling them ever more aggressive. Historically, experts have noted periods of political violence that predate the rise of social media, such as the assassinations seen in the late 1960s, posing a question of whether removing these platforms would significantly reduce political hostility. Robert Shapiro, a professor specializing in government and public affairs, expressed skepticism on this point, asserting that political conflict, in some form or another, would still exist. The shooting of Kirk is not an isolated incident. Rather, it is part of a troubling pattern of political violence. Recent months have recorded incidents involving gunfire directed at government officials and public gatherings, a stark reminder of how political landscapes are shifting. Amid the 2024 presidential election campaigns, incidents like failed assassination attempts against candidates illustrate a disconcerting trend in American politics. As Pate poignantly noted, this isn't the norm we've been accustomed to, but it appears to be our new reality. What do you think? Is the role of social media in promoting political violence overstated, or is it truly a dangerous catalyst? Join the discussion in the comments below.